welcome everyone to this February session of our learning sessions organized by our ICF Chennai chapter and Vanakkam as we say in Chennai. So today we have Dr. Saravanavasan KS. Usually we can call him KS. And before I just hand it over to Kannan and let me tell you who is Kannan. Kannan is our president of ICF Chennai chapter, and Raj is our past president. And both of us have steered our chapter to what it is now from the past 3-4 years. And of course, you know me, I'm the director L&D. And KS, as we are calling him today, last night there is a post in LinkedIn. He won one of the best 10 best thinkers or thought leaders and influencers, and his book is on the mindsets called Tal, and Tal, a Symphony of Minds. We're going to hear from him more about his book and something related on the same mindset work he's going to take us through in this session. So Kannan, it is for you to officially welcome KS and then start the session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Aruna, and good evening, all of you. I welcome on behalf of the chapter. I welcome you all to this monthly learning session. So as a chapter, we have a regular practice of a monthly learning session and coachability sessions that are hosted regularly. In case if you are inspired to join any of those, please either subscribe to the mailing list or be part of the chapter or be part of the chapter community, whatever way that it suits you. We would love to have regular interaction with you all. And today we have a very special speaker, KS, and the association of Chennai chapter with KS goes for a last 1 decade or so. So I'll let KS recall those memories as to how the seed has started in the initial formation of our existence as a ICF chapter when he starts his session. And a very interesting topic. And congratulations, KS, for the Business Standard Award that Aruna was talking about. And I'm really not surprised. It should be the top one thinkers of the of the country. But uh, I have known KS as a friend, as a HR leader, as a transformational person, and as a healer, many different identities that KS wears. And, someone who always believes in being happy and making people happy. So I'm really glad KS has kindly consented to offer his time today and his wisdom for all of us to really start learning from. And this session, as usual, will carry CCEU in case if you are looking to renew your credential or if you are applying for any other credential support mechanism, you can use the CCUs. Good news is that you don't need to do anything. There is no opening password, no closing password. Just stay in the session until the end of it. You will have a link. Please fill up the link, and the CCUs will be sent across to you automatically in about 2 weeks' time. Okay, and I don't know, over to you for a formal introduction of KS. And thank you all for joining. I wish you a wonderful evening and keep the energy flowing, keep interactions on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kannan. Thank you. And yeah, so it is my pleasure to formally, introduce Saravanavasan, Dr. Saravanavasan KS or KS as we talk about. So before I introduce him regarding CCUs, this session, as we mentioned, carries 1 core competency unit and 0.5 RD unit. Just fill in the Google form with your correct name and email ID, and we will send you the CCU certificate. And there's one more. I would love to take this occasion to tell about the next month's L&D session. It is by Marcia Reynolds. We all in coaching fraternity know about her. She's the author of the famous book, Coach the Person, Not the Problem. And her session is on March 25th, which is blending the neuroscience of collective wisdom with the practical application of coaching skills. So we already shared the news of KS as one of the top 10 thought leaders in book shaping to 2025-26. And the book is titled Tal, Symphony of Mind. His mission says it is to elevate leaders and transform lives by harmonizing purpose, inner mastery, and breakthrough success. Who is he? He is a globally recognized author, transformation catalyst, and creator of the Metamorph Shift framework, an inner mastery model that empowers leaders and organizations to rise beyond imagination. As the founder of Happy Leading, he integrates human behavior, organizational development, coaching service, and purpose driven leadership to unlock profound personal and professional breakthroughs. And KS says in his introduction, what started as a personal search to understand why some people thrive, while others merely endure, not endure, sorry, endure, grew into lifelong mission, decoding the science of happiness, success, and human transformation. Over 3 decades of leadership across industries and continents, he discovered a truth that would shape his work, that performance without purpose leads to burnout, but when happiness becomes the driver, excellence follows without any effort. That realization birthed Happy Leading, a movement designed to bring consciousness and joy into how we live and lead through. Happy Leading, he carries a simple mission to spread happiness as a way of life and to remind us that leadership at its best begins with being fully human. I just would like to add one more here. When I first approached him, it was with some trepidation because I heard through Kannan is a very senior leader and author and all. But the moment I spoke to him, he was very humble and a very modest human being and very approachable, and also got sense of humor. So welcome, KS. It's an honor to have you on the session, and thank you for your time.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So actually, Kannan had taken me to the memory lane. I think it was about 2014, right? If you remember, we actually, in Cognizant, we started off, a coaching journey. We certified leaders from the organization, and must be we didn't check the industry standards, but 12 of our leaders in the first cohort got ACC certification, in 2014, right? That's the time a lot of individual coaching organizations, right, formally started becoming ICF, getting affiliated to, ICF. So Bhaskar Natarajan is one of other instrumental person who said, I think, case we need to start off, ICF Chennai, because then I don't know now if we have 10 members, right, we could start off an ICF chapter. That's how in the year 2014 we started ICF Chennai chapter. I think Bethendu Suresh was, the first president of, the ICF chapter, and then I think it has been doing really well, from then on, right? So we had about close to eight or nine people from Cognizant itself, from Chennai chapter. The rest of them were from Bangalore, Hyderabad. So it was majorly started off, so that's the journey. So when Kannan said that, when he invited, I thought I should take this opportunity to meet fellow coaches from Chennai, and then it really takes me. I mean that, when we think of the situation, right, we imbibe that energy that was flowing then, right? So basically that I felt that, so I thought I should share this. And thanks for taking us back to the memory lane. And Raj, we worked together earlier. So I mean, he was also one of the leaders there, instrumental for growing the coaching, as a practice, in Cognizant. One of the few who got selected to go to the US, do master's or higher studies, a special program, and then come back. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So we'll look forward to the session. Yeah, Aruna, now any questions before I start sharing the screen? Okay, so I think Aruna, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
I said no questions as such. I'll man the chat box. I'll tell you.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome guys again to the session today. This session, I'm actually, it is going to be work more from you, less talk from me. And two, I would like to invite more conversations and discussions around this topic, because this topic itself is such that it raises a lot of questions, in our mind. To bring the clarity, I'm not consciously using any awareness or anything. We will look at what exactly it is during the course of time. So request all of you to be present, be mindful, and be aware of what's happening. And then if you have pen and paper, please keep it with you, because there are going to be few exercises that we will be doing during the course of this session, right? So having said that, let's start getting into the program. And let's start off with the beautiful video which will set the tone for the session. Does it feel like we are in this situation daily in our lives? Yeah, so what it says very clearly here, what I wanted to bring this out is, there's one thing that we need to carry, right? We are not here to control every event. You are here to consciously choose who responds to it. Yeah. So today we are going to explore this who. Yeah, how you respond to a situation is depending on the person who is inside you, right? So how do I understand who is inside me? How do I realize who is inside me? I will leave that thought with you now currently. Now, let's start looking at our own experiences and even maybe with others also, right? So when things don't work in our life, who usually takes charge from within? For example, when we saw the video, the person was sitting, sitting to meditate, and then there's a fly coming and sitting on his face. He was trying to keep his calm, but ultimately, you know what happened. And then you also knew what didn't work, so what really worked for him. So there are different who is inside us, right? Who is driving our action? Yeah, so today we are just going to talk about step by step in terms of who are those different people who would be within us and who would like to control us, right? Like a puppet. And how do we identify that and break away from that who, and then create our own self, right? So that you create that synergy and then move forward. See, this is what is all we are going to talk about. So before getting into the session, I'd like to invite you to do a small exercise. If you have a pen and paper, you could make this small table. Right, the first column talks about the situation trigger. Right, something feels unfair, like you are feeling unfair about this, or you're feeling out of control. For example, let's say you're in an organization, somebody comes and says that your coachee or somebody comes and feels this is really unfair. I had supposed to get promotion, but somebody else got the promotion. Right? This is unfair. And there are certain things which are out of my control. I cannot do anything about it. Right? This is one of the situation triggers. Right? There is pressure to deliver, and then you have limited choice. You have been given limited choice to choose. Then the next scenario is change. There is a change that's happening. There is uncertainty, and then you're seeing new possibilities, right? This is a other situation trigger, right? The other situation trigger is basically the responsibility beyond self, right? These are the situation triggers. If these are the situation triggers, if you could jog back in your lifetime and see what was the situation, right? So what was the dominant emotion felt? If you're able to write that, if you're able to recognize that, please put it. Inner narrative and state, who is person who is operating within, maybe we will start discovering it slowly. This is really important for us to understand ourselves, who is being operating with us in the different situation, right? So can we give a 5 minutes, a minute each, or so to each of the situation, and then can we move forward? You have any clarifications on the table, please let me know. I'll be happy to clarify that.
Yes, Vishal here.
Yes, Vishal.
So basically what you're saying is we have this feelings which you have mentioned on the left. We have to capture the situation, which could be a real life situation where I
Correct.
feel this.
Correct.
And then identify the emotion. And then how
What
do I
was the
map the
emotion?
next stage?
Yeah, so this is slightly tricky. We will not be able to do that. We
Hmm.
will explore this as we move forward.
Okay,
So
sure.
that you get the complete picture of the table, right? And then
Perfect.
yeah.
That helps. Thank you.
Yeah. If you are able to only just map the situation, also fine, right? Do not struggle to, force fit and then saying, hey, this is what the emotion I felt.
Okay.
Because it's slightly tricky. So at least we're able to capture the situation, you should be good for now.
There's a question, KS,
Yeah.
from Navnita. She's asked, can you give an example for state operating with?
Sorry?
The last column, state operating within. So she's just...
that is, the whole session is going to be about that only.
Okay.
Now you'll not be able to, that's what I said, the last column, it'll be difficult to, visualize because you wouldn't know that. So the last column would come at last of the session. So we will start exploring us step by step. Any more questions? Because at this stage, first two columns are really important for us to understand and map. And now please let me know when I could move forward.
Sure, Kes. Hi. So if you're, most of you are done, can you give us a thumbs up so that we know we can move on to the next slide?
Wow, so many thumbs up.
Yeah.
So thank you. Let's move forward. So this is, I have identified or tried to map these who's into, different 4 categories. This is based on my coaching experience, seeing people around me at my home, my friends, right? So started looking at, yes, there are certain things which we already know, but if you put a face and a name to that who, right, it is easy for people to identify, right, and then move forward, right? So during this exploration, I largely found that people will be operating with this 4 who's. The first is the victim. All the who's that I am trying to, tell here is nothing. I not invent or discover this, right? But only what I did is to map certain things to this who, right? So that it is easy for us to identify and be aware and then be mindful of that, right? So this is what, I have done with my research in terms of talking to the people, observing them, looking at their behaviors. What is stopping few people? What is making people happy? Few people are there who have, we feel that, there is nothing and how he can feel happy. Few people have everything that, maybe we want to have, but still we see them, not so happy. So all this actually triggered me to understand, right? So how do we put this into different who's, right? And ultimately, everything that I tried to do got into this 4 who's, right? That's where I'm trying to reveal those who's. One is the victim who, right? Victim mindset. So these are the people, why is this happening to me, right? Fear, they operate out of fear. Then the second type of people is adjusting. Hey, okay, let me cope and survive, right? I don't want to get into any conflicts. Yeah. So let me just keep adjusting. Then the third type of people who keeps adapting. Okay, why can't I try it differently? What can I do differently, to move forward? Right? These are the third type of people or third type of who mind that, I could see. Then the last one, but not the least, is the leading. So what must be done and who must rise in this occasion, right? So these are the 4 categories that I could pack them into, right? The behavior, the mindsets, the outcome, and then how the people are seen are actually shaped by this 4 who's, right? So we will look at the different who's, in the subsequent place, but now I would like to stop here to check if anything that is coming to your mind. You had written the first 2 columns, right? Are you resonating with this 4 who's?
Somewhere I can resonate all this with the personality types.
Yeah. Yes. Very important, very important aspects. Aruna, right? Who I just spoke.
No.
Sorry.
I'm Ranjit.
Ranjana.
Ranjana. Okay, sorry, Ranjana. I was not able to look at who was speaking.
Sir, in the Preet here, my perspective would be actually, I think this is a kind of stages of evolution, like evolving in circumstances wherein you are not able to overcome. So I think first you are in the victim, then adjusting, then adapting, and then leading. So I think I see this as a stages of evolution as well towards a particular challenge or a problem.
Okay, great, great. So what you say is, as you gain experience, you would go from victim to leading.
Yes.
Okay. Right. And you said personality traits. You said these are personalities, right? Now, the important thing here is you have filled the columns. Now you have some relation with this who's operating within you, these four mindsets. If this is somewhere relating to the personality, right? You could also visualize how is the world seeing you. If you're operating from the victim mindset, you have certain outcome. If you are operating with the adjusting mindset, you have certain outcome. You are an adapting mindset, you have certain outcome. If you are a leading mindset, you have certain outcome, right? So this person, this who, victim, adjusting or adapting or leading, is operating within you, right? And that is getting manifested into your physical and your action, makes your personality, and that's what people see you. People do not see what is there in your mind. They don't see you're in the victim or you're adjusting, you're adapting or leading. But what they see is your action. Got it?
Case there is a chat box, there is a message. Vivek has posted this. I think my reflection is that these are four different lenses. First one is I'm subjected to what is happening around me. Second is I'm navigating this, but with a focus on survival. I think he's correlating to adjusting and all.
Got it. Yes.
Adapting, this is a puzzle for me to adapt to. And four, this is a situation for me to manage and make the most of.
Great. Yes. So thanks for sharing that, Vivek. We will get into more clarity into each of this stage. Yes. So we all have this own language, right? We are conditioned to, a language. People say that, the language actually changes people, right? So we relate this language to an maybe a situation or a feeling, or that is creating a sort of a image in our mind, right? That's why they say that language is really important. Talk positive, right? Say always good things, have positive conversations, right? So that it has your impact on your what you start thinking. Yes. So this can be converted into many of the languages that we feel right comfortable with to adopt or adjust, right, or lead, right? But ultimately you have your own framework. This is something that which I have found out, but if you are able to relate to the same framework, and then the ultimate outcome is basically if you are leading and if you are able to get whatever you want and whatever, and then the most important thing is you feel happy and more energetic is what is the final outcome, right? So let me go to the next slide. Can I move on to the next?
There's a question, a very interesting question from Indrapreet. She asks, in which category being immune to the situation falls into?
Okay. You have immunity in all four.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And you will understand as we move forward.
And there's a comment by Raj here. The four personas seems to fall into fixed mindset 1 and 2, scarcity and limits, and growth mindset 3 and 4, challenge, exploring, learning.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. So let's get on to the victim mindset, right? What will happen when the victim mindset is operating? We talked about the inner voice, right? In the first, this is what happens within us. Why is this happening to me? It is not fair, right? I have no choice. The typical situation is it's a sudden change, loss of control, perceived unfairness, decision made about me, but not with me, right? So you become a victim. So dominant emotions, you feel helplessness, frustration, you start blaming, the blame game starts, right? Then resentment, actually starts within the people, right? So you start slowly getting aloof, moving away. All these things, happens. And what is the mindset? What this mindset tries to do? It protects from pain, right? Avoid responsibility when things feel overwhelming. See, in any case, I will not be able to do anything. What is that? Now I have an idea. In any case, this organization does not respect. Now, why do I need to give this idea? Right? These are certain things that, becomes an habit or a, outcome of a person, right? Who is getting into this victim mindset, right? So what happens? What is the cost of being in the victim stage? These are the few, but of course, the hidden costs are more. Power is outsourced. We do not do anything, but others do everything, and then we have to keep silent. Energy drains. You keep doing work, but as a victim, so there is no progress, right? Waiting replaces action. That means you wait, but there's no action, taken, right? So this is what happens when you're operating in a victim stage, right? So I would like to stop here and then, take a minute in terms of how are these things being built, right? There are situations that the more and more situations you are in similar situations, right? That is one. Two, the environment that you are brought up, right? That is two. Then, for example, let's say somebody is saying, hey, you cannot do this, you are not fit for this, right? You keep continuously saying that, that gets into your subconscious mind, and then say, hey, okay, I'm not fit for this. So the environment, your personal experiences, the surroundings that you are in starts imposing this into your mind, and then you start believing that yes, you are this, and then you become a victim. Then you become a victim, right? Or you try to adjust, or you try to adapt, or you try to be leading. If you're in a situation wherein you always were given options to choose, then you are always asked, what is that you need to do? Okay, you do this, I am backing up, I am there behind you, do it confidently, don't worry about the outcome, start exploring, start doing new things. If this is the situation that you have always been, right, so your mind is always conditioned to that sort of a thinking, right? So it is also the environment, how you are brought up, the situations that you are in builds this mindset. So that is, I would like to step back and then tell how is that this all are built. But however, it doesn't mean that we can break away from this particular mindsets. The only thing that we require is basically we need to understand who is operating at that particular time with us, right? That awareness, when you start building, you'll be able to come out of it. I would like to stop here and then check if you have any questions.
KS, there is a question from Vijay Ahire. Can it happen in sequence? You feel victim for some time and then take some action to come out of it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely right. See, that's where, one thing you need to understand is no mindset is permanent in a person. Okay. So when you're trying to come out of that mindset, which means that you have become aware that you have become a victim. That means you have become aware that you have become a victim, right? I'll give you an example. I will take one part of, story of Ramanlinga Raju, right? All of us know about Satyam. I will take the second half of, that story. But he is one of the person who actually operated in all the four stages, right? I will take this two stage, victim to leading, not even adjusting or adapting, but leading. When he started Maitas, right? Satyam, the IT company, and then he started an infrastructure company called Maitas. And then, what had happened between these two boards, financial misappropriation. Okay, then he was not able to manage. Maybe he was trying to adjust. At one given point of time, he was not able to manage. He has become a victim of a process or a practice. Two things can happen. When he becomes a persistent victim, what will happen? It will become a story of Siddharth. Cafe Day. He has become a victim of financial crisis. He is not able to understand that he has become a victim, and then he was not able to come out of it. Same case, I would like to talk about Satyam Ramalingaraju. He has become a victim. He understood that he cannot become a victim now, and then he has to come out. He has guts to clarify to the world that this is what has happened, right? Though he says this is what he has done, he declared it, and then he has guts to say that he got into a leading position, right? He's got into a leading mindset. Okay, but as we see as a third person, we will say, hey, this is the guy who created this crime, and then now he's raised his hands. But look at his mindset, what he is operating from, how he has moved from a victim to the leadership mindset, right? So the important point that we wanted to make here is it is not always that a person would stay in the same mindset, right? That you are aware that you are in mindset is what will move you forward, right? Being aware that you are in that mindset is what is going to move you forward. No mindset is permanent. I will take it. I'll give you a few examples, post we see other three mindsets, right? No mindset is permanent. Each one of us operate at different mindsets at different stages of our day, of our life, right? What is important is you be aware in what mindset you are operating at that particular time is what is more important, right? Some of the examples, right? Victim. I will take from our old mythology, right? So Dhritarashtra was blind. He felt he is physically, unfit, right? He has become a victim. He had to listen to all his, whoever is saying, right? He has become a victim saying that I am blind. What can I do? I cannot do anything, right? We have seen the example of Nokia. Nokia had a greater market share, I think about 60 to 70% of the market share, but they lost to, the Androids and Apples. They did not want to, move from, they become victim of their own mindset that, they are the market leaders and then people will buy what they produce. Kodak, is another great example. These were the guys who actually brought in, a digital camera. They thought that it'll kill their own market of, the film rolls, and then they served it. Ultimately, they lost the race, right? So these are all the, examples of what will happen when you start operating on the victim mindset. There is no problem when you become a victim mindset, but only thing is, are you aware that you're in a victim and then you wanted to come out? Yeah, that's what, is, I think you got it, right? So any questions?
No questions, KS. We can move.
Got it? We can move. You got it, right? So just take 2 minutes, right? Would you also, apart from whatever examples that you have seen, have you also seen people who are operating in this victim mindsets, and how do you see them? Just to take 2 minutes from your daily life, look at your own home. Is anybody operating at victim stage? In your organization, who is operating at the victim stage? If you are able to visualize them, right, so it becomes more easy for us to understand our own state, who is there within us. And while doing that, you also look at how you see this person, what impression you form of that person in you. Just take 2 minutes.
Sir, I've been coaching a girl actually recently. She is from Lucknow, and she was not victim, I would say. Her circumstances around her family from paternal and maternal side was not good. And then eventually she stepped out of Lucknow and she came to Delhi. So what I felt Then now when she has taken that step ahead, she is still in a victim mode, but still she feels powerful that she was able to take that step ahead. And when she looks back, this is what her side of story is. She thinks that earlier she was feeling like a victim wherein she had no power, but now since she has taken that decision, she feels powerful.
Okay. So I could get one aspect of that if you could clarify it. Though she had come out of that situation to to Lucknow,
Yeah.
right? You said, but still she is a victim, right? Now
Yeah.
she's feeling powerful. So if you could just clarify that bit, right? So that
Yeah. So one side is that she had to take that step and come out of her comfort zone.
Mhm.
So although she took a powerful step that she's proud of, but still she feels victim of the circumstances that were around her that pushed her to come out of that comfort zone, because she was with her family then and now she's living here alone. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is victim of what? She's took a leading situation. Let's read this, right? A great example for us to read this. She feels that she empowered herself by coming out of that relationship and staying alone. Okay. Now she feels victim still that she is away from the family. So she is victim of what?
Her surrounding.
Her surroundings, she was a victim, but she came out. She empowered herself and then she came out. So she got, freed from the surroundings. But she is still having a victim mindset is still not gone because she is not able to digest that, she is not able to live with others. Maybe that relationship, that bonding, she is losing. Got it? Maybe she's a person who loves people to be around. I don't know, right? The background. I'm just giving you a few examples for you to think. So she is a victim of emotions, victim of relationship. I'm not saying that we should not have emotions, we should not be good with people, we should not have good relationship with people, but would you become a victim of that? For example, right, same thing, let's talk about Dhritarashtra, right? He loved his son so much. So the love for his son made him mentally blind. Already he's physically blind, but he became mentally blind. He didn't want to give the kingdom to the Pandavas. So he is a victim of the love for his children. So when you relate to that, she has become a victim of being deprived of that, maybe the relationship or the love or the emotional bonding with somebody. Are you able to get it?
Yes, I understood, sir.
Yes. That's why I'm saying the situation. Situation is really important. Your mind acts on a situation. If you are not able to be aware and separate the situations, right? Situation is really important. If you're not able to separate the situation, you would not know who is operating in that situation. Now, if she feels, want to empower herself, hey, those are the relations which never care for me, right? So I don't want to do, I wanted to move ahead with making new relations or making life my way and then moving forward. She would get out of that victim mindset. Got it? But she should be, she should be aware that what is making her victim is that feeling or the emotions about that particular relationship or, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got it? Got it?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
clear, right?
Yes, sir.
How people are operating that victim mindset. Maybe it's a little heavy, but it will slowly sink in when you keep moving forward. Yeah, adjusting mindset, inner voice, let me cope up and get through this, right? Manage, don't mess up. Taking the previous example of your coachee, yeah, maybe first, like there are steps wherein someone said that it's a maturity model. Once you're victim, then with your experience, you try to adjust, then you get into a adapting mindset, then you become a lead. It's also reverse also is true. Maybe this person's trying to adapt. to their family situations, not able to, getting on the nerves. Then she said, okay, let me adjust. Otherwise, I'll be deprived of family or whatever emotions, right? The more and more adjusting made her into a victim mindset. Slowly, she has started becoming a victim of that particular environment. When she realized that there is no use, now I become a victim, now I am unable to sustain here, she empowered herself to come out of the situation, right? So the reverse also is true. People may be in adjusting, people may be in adapting. Too much of adjusting can get into your victim stage, right? So you got it now, adjusting, right? Adjusting,
Yes,
this
sir.
is what is why, yeah, this is what is, will happen. Adjusting is mostly people will say, hey, I don't want to, get into the conflict. Let me start adjusting about whatever it is.
So, starting from victim, adjusting and adapting for all of, I think for adjusting and adapting, the threshold is at the end, it's victimization only, and only then you move to the next step.
Not necessary. I will not necessary. See, for
Okay.
example, let's say it is once you okay, let me take a step back, right? You may feel victimized. Unless you stay in that mindset, you are not a victim. Got it? Which means, for example, let's say you started working with somebody and then you realized that you're being used. Okay, this happens, right, in our daily situation. Yeah. So until you realize that you are a victim, that's the awareness that you get. So once the awareness that you're being used and then you become a victim of that stage, then you try to move. But what will happen is when you start adjusting, saying that okay, then you get into a complete victimized. So there will be a mind play between your adjusting and victim. Am I confusing or I am making it clear?
I think it's clear to me now.
Okay. Right now, so when you look at the adjusting, right, same thing from the mythology. If you take Vidura never accepted ideas of the Kauravas, right? But he stayed put there. He was only adjusting, right? Only at the end, he said that he is not going to be with them, and then he said he is not going to fight, right? He threw away his arms. Now he felt happy, and then he felt that he's the leading stage. So the adjusting, people start adjusting. If you all remember Lotus 1, 2, 3, how many of us use Lotus 1, 2, 3? Lotus 1, 2, 3 is like our Excel. Star Office is like, it came in a big way as an alternate to Microsoft. They said that they are going to give it at very, very, very nominal cost, right? They are not able to cope up with whatever Microsoft was giving, and then they try to adjust their market and then try to slightly do some little bit of increment of whatever they're providing, and they are not able to do anything out of it, right? Ultimately, they have become a victim of their own mindset, and then, I mean, it's no more there, right? Yeah. So these are the organizations that you see having this adjusting to the market, trying to tweak a bit, etc., and then they just vanished. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. So just take 2 minutes and then see around you who are the people who are with this adjusting mindset. What are their outcomes? How do they behave, and how do you see them?
Sir, maybe for adjusting, I would want to quote back from our older times, like when our mothers were coping up with the relatives. Nowadays, it's very easy. I think our generation, they are like stop talking or, they revolt. But I think our mothers, or like for that matter, for fathers also, and they were adjusting with the relatives. And I think it was told it's okay, ignore,
Yes.
try and pull on. don't take
Yes.
it seriously and all of those stuff.
Yes.
But the times have changed now. But yeah, that was
Correct.
adjusting mindset. I think
Abs-
nowadays nobody would want to adjust.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Yes, absolutely. See, it's like, you know, the hierarchy in terms of victim to transition of hierarchy or situation from victim to leading mindset is basically when you are a victim, situation takes you under control. When you go to the leading, you take the situation under control. Yeah, it is basically the situation, right? The situation is taking you under control. Then when you are adjusting to the situation, you are adapting to the situation, you are taking the situation under control. This is how the hierarchy goes. If you have to move from victim to, if you have to say, relate the mindset to the situations, the hierarchy moves from situation taking you under control to you taking the situation under control. Yeah, got it? Can we move forward? Yeah. Adapting mindset. The important thing that you need to see here is your inner voice. How do I make this work? What can I learn here? I'll find a solution. This is an adapting mindset. Yeah. For example, right, taking again from the mythology, Karna. Karna joined his Kauravas, and then what he did is he tried to adapt to their mentality. Yeah. Because he wanted to give back to the friendship. He never felt as a victim or he never adjusted. Okay. Nor he was able to tell people saying that whatever they're doing is wrong. So he started adapting to the situation. For example, let's say we have a Disney, right? Disney, when they were not trying to do well, right, they tried to acquire a company, right, which were into animation. Yeah, they tried to adapt to the situation and then again try to be, a leading at that particular time. Same thing happened with Facebook, right? The Facebook was not able to create another Instagram, right? No, sorry. What did they take over? What's the other social media?
WhatsApp.
No,
Facebook.
WhatsApp.
no, the Instagram only thing. Yes, Instagram, right? So they were not able to create something else. So they tried to adapt to the situation, and what they did is they bought over Instagram. That is something, adapting to the situation, right? So when people get into the adapting situation, I don't want to adjust, tweaking Facebook, a bit to look more like, an Instagram, or people getting confused between Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so what happened? He tried to adapt to the market, and then they tried to buy this Instagram, and then they kept Instagram as is, right? So it is from the Facebook. Yeah. So same thing, right, happens to Tata Motors. Tata Motors goes and then gets Jaguar, right? They were able to adapt into the the bigger budget segment. Yeah. So these are certain things we can see as an adapting mindset. People are with this mindset. How do they operate? Okay. And then start moving forward. So that's the mindset. We need to understand, so what is my mindset now? Let's take for example of Facebook. Instagram is becoming popular. Yeah. So now there are different options for Facebook in front of them, right? So whether they wanted to create another Instagram or they wanted to tweak another, sort of a user interface like Instagram within the Facebook. So do we want to confuse people? For them, the best option is basically look at taking buying the Instagram and keeping it with them, right? So that's the mindset, right? So basically, if you see what it tries to do, it tries to stay flexible and open, right? Experiment. Okay, let me experiment and see what happens. So what is the better way forward, right? These are the way that mindset will start trying when you get into the adapting mindset. So when you know that if you have to get to adapting mindset from adjusting, right, you need to train your inner voice or your mindset to start thinking this particular way to come out of that. If you are in a victim, if you have to move to adjusting mindset, or what mindset suits in your situation. Sometimes a waiting situation suits better. If you are in a meeting, sometimes it is really wise to keep your mouth shut and then keep. People think, why are you silent and etc. But that's a leading situation. People may think that you are a victim, but that's leading. Sometimes parents scold the children, right? There are different things that that can happen. So the child stays as a victim quietly. Maybe it does not increase the anger of the parent to scold more. So that is basically a better situation mindset to be in. Act as if you're a victim and then just escape and then go. Maybe that's maybe a leading when being in a victim situation. Got it? Am I clear? Any questions?
There are a few comments in the chat box, nothing
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
Like,
Anything interesting?
So,
yeah. Yes,
I'm
please.
Navneeta here. Can
Yes,
I
Navneeta.
share one, like what came up to my mind was we talked about these mindsets can be hierarchical. That's what you mentioned. And also,
Situations. Yeah. Situations. Yeah.
okay, the situations, okay, one can move from victim to adjusting or adapting like that. And what came up to me was like, it can be intertwined also, like an umbrella. On the whole, you might be adjusting, but inside that, you could be adapting. So
Yeah.
that's what came to my mind, and I thought I would share it with you. And if you have any examples like that, I would love to hear it from you.
Yeah. So I will come with that, right? So there is each person will different situations have a different mindset. Okay. So for example, let's say Steve Jobs. So what comes to your mind? We have only an leading mindset now. We have seen victim, adjusting and adapting. So if you take Steve Jobs, what mindset do you think he has as an umbrella, like you said?
Leading?
Yes. Right? We all think when we say Steve Jobs leading, right? He always broke the rule, right? So when he said to his marketing guy saying that people don't know what they want. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he disrupted the market. So when we talk about him, we talk about an example of a leading mindset. But like you said, as an umbrella, he was a victim in his health aspects. Yes.
True. Yep.
He was a victim in his health. So there are people who overarching mindset, they wanted to be in the leading mindset. But when it comes to certain situations in the life, they may start getting into a different mindset.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Does this help you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Can we move on to the next? Okay. So what happens when your leading mindset operates? It's not saying I can make a difference. Let's take this head on, right? Hey, this is a chance to lead. I see an opportunity here, right? So this is what your inner voice says. Okay. So dominant emotions, you become confident, excitement, purpose. What this mindset tries to do, set directions and energizes others, take people along. Importantly, you make decisions. You start tackling all challenges, right? You start engaging in fair people. These are few examples, but you are disruptive. When adapting, you can be a bit of innovating, right? But when you get into a leading mindset, you take the situation under control. So you become more disruptive, right? Incremental can be adapting, disruptive can be a leading mindset example. Same thing, right? Comes when we talk about the leading mindset. We already spoke about Steve Jobs. He's the person with, a leading mindset. So the two names, but maybe controversial or non-controversial, Subhash Chandra Bose is actually a leading mindset. When the entire nation was trying to adjust, adapt, and then sometimes become a victim, right? He was thinking different, and then he was thinking completely disruptively, working for the freedom of India, right? Post-freedom, I think the Iron Man of India, he is the person who got Hyderabad back into the, Indian map, right? So that's one leading mindset. Instead of me getting control with the situation, I take the situation under control. So all of you must be remembering Kapil Dev's 145 not out, 1983 World Cup against Zimbabwe, right? That's the leading mindset. So we become a victim. We lost wickets. There is absolutely no option or chance to win, right? So he came with the mindset saying that, let me take the situation under control. 175 not out is one of the other. Of course, there are a lot of other examples recently, but this is something which stays because of my age, right? So single-handedly coming, and then he's being a captaining the team, right? He knew that there is a responsibility which he has to shoulder. As a leader, he went with a leading mindset to win that match to get into a World Cup. Yeah, that's the leading mindset. Any questions? This is easy to understand.
Yeah, I have a rather question or observation, whatever you say. As you rightly pointed out, the hidden cost, pressure can feel isolating, less tolerance for dissent and all. So the thought that came up to me was, why do we need to be in a leading mindset every time, even at work or at home? Can't we play by the strengths of our team and then maybe empower them to lead sometimes, and then maybe
That is leading mindset.
is it?
Naturally, right? When you are taking a seat back, yeah, and then you are allowing somebody. Okay, let me take a very simple example. No, you play with the child. The child will say like this, or give an action of beating. So you'll start enjoying, laughing, and then enjoying the moment. At that particular moment, you make child feel that it is empowered to do something. As a child, I act as a victim. So now I am a victim, or I'm leading that particular situation. That's why I said earlier also, if you remember, sometimes you being a victim is a leading situation. For others, it may look like you're a victim, but you're actually leading.
Thank you.
I have a version of this which is a little different. I have come across a person who is an excellent leader, but he has a victim mindset because he is adjusting and hence is the leader. I don't know if I'm able to put it across properly.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
What you're saying is there is a leader. He became a leader not because of his capabilities, competence, making things happen, but he has become a leader by adjusting to the environment and his boss, maybe, let me put it that way. Is my understanding right? What you wanted to convey?
He is very competent. He has become a leader to cope with the situations.
He is competent. He has become leader.
A leader
Okay.
to cope with the situation that he is in right now.
Okay.
And hence developed a victim mindset of why do I need to do this?
Yes.
So is the pressure getting to him, or is he naturally a leader?
Yeah. So what he was doing here is, may I know who was that? I'm sorry.
This
Who
is
was
one
talking?
of my clients.
No, the Shweta, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So he was adapting to the corporate culture. Got it? He's got capabilities, he's got competence. He has done something, he became a leader, he got promoted because he adapted to the situation. And let's say if there are two more people who are peers, right? So if I bring you a comparison, then you'll be able to understand better. But somebody has come with, this person has come with with adapting mindset. He adapted to the situation and then he grew up, right? This can take you only to a certain level. But if you have to grow beyond it, okay, he will not be able to grow unless he has a leading mindset. So now why he will become a victim is something has brought him here. What got you here may not get you there. What got him here is adapting mindset. Now that is not enough for the organization for him to grow. So maybe we need to, I don't know what is the background, but I can imagine that he's been trying to adapt, but he has not shown anything that is making him eligible to grow beyond what he is currently today. So he becomes upset and then he feels that he has become a victim. So it's a reverse hierarchy. He has been adjusting, he has been adapting for a longer time may not give him results. So he's become a victim of his own thoughts, own mindset. So Shweta, are you able to relate to what I'm saying?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense, and viewing it this way is giving me a lot of clarity.
Yes.
I might be able to help him.
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Any more questions?
So I have not a question, but just clarifying my thought, Navneeta here.
Navneeta,
So
yes,
whatever mindset we adapt with awareness, then we are in a leading mindset. Would it be right to put it that way?
Can you please repeat?
Sure. So whatever mindset we are adapting with awareness, then we are having a leading mindset. Is that right to say?
No. If you are aware of what is happening, okay, that is the trigger for you to get into the leading mindset. It may not lead you to leading mindset. You got
Okay.
it? But you're aware.
Okay.
For example, cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Now you're aware of it. So how many of them are suffering from side effects of smoking and then still continuing to smoke? Right? So it is not only important for you to become. So there are two things. One is awareness and the other one is the mindfulness. I will get to that. You are still not become aware. You are only become mindful of what you are currently happening.
Okay, I
Right?
get your point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Can you move forward? I think we are running out of time. So if you are able to, let me quickly move this forward. If you actually start plotting your situation, right? For against the situation, you would have seen for something feels unfair, right? Emotions were helplessness, frustration, right? That means who is operating within you is a victim. In the second instance, who is operating within you is adjusting. The third instance, who is operating with you is adapting. The fourth instance, who is operating within you is leading. Is it giving you a more clarity as we move what is happening? So if you become a victim, you have to start reading this reverse. If you have a victim mentality, this is what is going to happen. Or if you understand that this is what is happening, then you are in a victim mentality. That is giving you your awareness, or then you start moving ahead is what will keep you moving forward. Any questions?
So emotional regulation can actually take you from one situation to another, from victim to adjusting to adapting to leading.
Yeah. So there is a slight, as I told you, the language is something that we start clinching on to with understanding what it is. So there is a next step of mindfulness is the awareness. I will get to that immediately next to that.
Thank you.
So what is presence, mindfulness, and awareness? So as coaches, we always talk about these things, right? Be present, mindfulness, be mindful of what's happening, or what awareness that you got. Yeah. So I would like to bring in the distinctions of these three. What is presence when you're saying coaching? Right? You're attending to the person, right? So you are saying the connection. So you're saying be present. It improves trust. Right? One of the trust building competencies, you say that, be present. It builds the credibility. You start dancing in the movement, and all that is, basically because of the presence. Right? We also use this term mindfulness. Mindfulness is your emotional, this one, right? That's you're observing your thoughts and feelings. That is you're being mindful. That means you're regulating your thoughts and feelings. That is of the emotions, right? That's your regulation. That is your mindfulness. The awareness is a bit more, right? You're seeing the inner driver. So what is driving all those things? So there is a trigger. Something has to trigger that feeling. Something has to trigger that thought. Right? People say this think, feel, and act, but there is something beyond thinking. What is making you think? That's the awareness that we need to build. See, it's like this, right? The beautiful thing, when you observe your mind without being your mind, right? You're free. When your feeling is, or you're afraid, then you become a fearful person, right? So when we talk about that, we'll say mindfulness calms the mind, right? But awareness frees the response. So you react or you respond, it frees you from all that, right? So a step ahead that we need to work with our people within ourselves is what awareness that we are building. So when you talk to our coaches, when we say what awareness that you're building, people are becoming little more aware of, unfortunately, I need to use the same word aware because it has some connections to what we already know. So they become mindful. They become aware of, they become mindful, or they start observing, or they are start noting their feelings and emotions. We stop at that. But if you need to really transform people, right? You need to make them bring into the awareness, right? That's where the awareness is all about. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I'd like to just ask the first sentence once again. When you can observe your mind without becoming your mind, you're free. So if you could just tell one or two
Yeah.
lines more on this.
Yeah. So let's say you come across a person whom you hate to speak. What comes to your mind?
Maybe avoidance or indifference.
Correct. That is in your mind, right?
Yes.
So then what do you do after that when that comes to your mind?
I try to do that, avoid or be indifferent.
Correct. Absolutely. So when you can observe your mind without becoming your mind, which means now I am observing that this person is coming, I am going to get angry about it. I am just going to avoid him. Okay, that is your mind. If you're becoming the mind, your action will be to avoid. If you're freeing yourself from that, means you're a different person altogether.
Okay. So just becoming aware that I'm having these feelings or thoughts.
Correct. And then you will start doing this, and this is what will be the repercussions. And this is what my personality will be seen by others. And this is how people would look at carrying myself.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
Got it?
Yes.
Can we move ahead? Any questions?
No questions, KS.
Yeah. I know
think
that we are running out of time. We'll just quickly finish this.
I just want to say to the other people that we need a few more minutes. I hope it's okay with all of you because we don't want to lose the flow. I think, yeah, there's thumbs up from some people. Yes.
Yeah, cool. I promise there are only 2 more slides and 1 video. Yeah, so this is what we need to understand, right? The leadership is not outside. Okay, the leadership begins when you are no longer controlled from inside. Okay, so that is what, if you are controlling who is inside, then the leadership begins. To answer the previous line, we don't just experience anger, we become the angry person. Got it? We don't just feel fear, we become a fearful decision maker. So when you detach yourself from the thought of fear, then your decision is completely different. That's where when you detach and you don't become your mind, you're different. You start leading. Got it? So a small blueprint, if you can do this cautiously, with awareness, deliberately start practicing, I think we are there, right? So this is the TAL blueprint. You start noticing first what is happening in you, then name, are you at victim, are you at adjusting, are you at adapting, are you leading? Then choose what you need to do and then just act. Got it? So awareness gives you a choice and choice gives you the leadership. So awareness is really important. If you have read 𝐥𝐞𝐚 𝐘𝐨𝐮's book, he would say the first thing is build awareness, right? Build awareness. Awareness is so important that each of us will have to practice ourselves. And then we need to also, as a coach, while bringing, we need to bring that sort of awareness in the people also, right? So you notice first what's happening, then you name it. That's why I said if you name it and then if you give a shape to who is there in you, it becomes easy for you to choose whether you have to continue with that person or I need to change that person. And then you can choose what to do after that act. Yeah, any questions? Okay. So who is reading within you right now? What takeaways that I would request you to do? Please take the blueprint, name what you are noticing. Afterward, choose how do you want to act, right? Leadership is not a position, authority or confidence. We talked about sometime earlier. Somebody has become a leader. He started, maybe that we said that it's a mindset that he has adopted, right? Only by he is a leader by the title or the designation, right? But who is actually leading inside him is not a leader, right? Physically, maybe he is, right? But mentally, he is a victim, right? And the choice. Once you leave this session, a real situation you are going to, encounter, right? Immediately. Maybe your spouse or your child or somebody would say, hey, you promised me that you'll be coming at 8:30, but this is whatever you pass the time. Yeah. So are you going to get angry and then you are going to be that angry person, or you are going to detach what is in your mind and then you become free and then you choose to act? You have your real case study coming forward to you immediately. So it is really important who is responding with you at that particular moment, at that situation. Yeah. So I will tell you one umbrella, another case study of Ramlingaraju. Actually, this person was having Satyam spinning mills. If you know about people lived in this part of the Hyderabad country, Hyderabad, you would know that he started off with Satyam spinning mills. Then he was doing really well. Then IT industry caught up. Then he wanted to adapt right to the industry. Then he got into the Satyam. He started off Satyam IT. Then actually he went into the leading situation. Then the infrastructure boom actually started. So he wanted to start Mitas. That's where the misappropriations happen on the funds. So first he tried to adjust the situation. When it gone beyond, when he became a victim, then he declared to the world that this is what happened, and then he freed himself from all that, right? So he has started leading with his mindset. So a person, not necessary that has to be in one mindset. If he is able to be aware that he is in this particular mindset, and that is why all these sorrows and sadness and all that are there, depression and all that are there. So that awareness would start giving you choose to act. So we spoke about notice and naming it. It is not enough, but we need to choose, and then act is also important, right? So I will just stop here before I go to the next slide to take any questions.
There are no questions, KS.
Okay, people are hungry. So good time actually 7:30, 8:30. People will be hungry and then try to move faster. So I'll just close this with the last video, a very popular video, but look at this context. We would have used this video, many times in many contexts, but look at this context of characters who are victim, who are adjusting, who are adapting, and then who are leading.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर। सर आइए सर। ये चल चल जाओ, बोला क्या बात करता है, क्या ऊपर से जाएगा, क्या ऊपर से जा
गया मेन शो।
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना।
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा?
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता दे हो। लेगा। कौन होगा वो मसीहा, वो जिसे तू ढूंढता है, वो ही है तू वही है। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रहे, तू ही रहे, तू ही रहे तेरा मसीहा हो।
Thank you so much for patiently coping up with me.
That was a
Any
wonderful video, KS. Very nice ending, fit ending to the session.
Yeah.
So just a small request, if you can just take off the presentation, we can
Yeah.
have a picture of all the people who are left in the session now. And we request all of you to please turn on your cameras and give us your nice smiles. Mitu, you're fix? Even I'm taking.
Yes, I'm taking the pictures.
Okay.
There's just one screen. So
Yes.
yes. But some people are still coming, so I'll take one more.
Yeah, sure.
Smile. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was, no words. So may I formally invite Raj to formally thank KS.
Thanks. KS, thanks for a wonderful session. You know, you always
Thanks,
have a good test of a session which runs over 10 minutes and you're left smiling. I don't know where to start so much. I have 2 pages of notes, but loved the session. Your choice of videos starting and ending was so good. Lots of takeaways, but what stood out, I love the way that you use the 4 personas. It's so relatable. You know, and you know, the homework you gave us is also very relatable, but also new to me today. I think love the distinction you made between, you know, awareness, mindfulness, and presence. I think that's a very, very lot to chew on, lot to sit with. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us here today, but also on the chapter. Looking forward to reading your book. All the best.
Thanks, Raj. Thank you. I would look forward to everybody's experience with the book. I'm sure it's not going to disappoint you.
Here's a question from some of our participants. Is the offer for free download still there, or is it over?
Now I can request. I can open it for some more time.
Sure, that would be great.
I can do that.
And
Once I do that, I will let that link to you so that you can ask them to.
I'll send it to all the participants. Thank you.
I'll
That's
do that.
wonderful.
I'll do
Thank
that.
you.